Good morning. Good morning. Pick yourself up. Coming to you live at 0700 hours, 22 minutes. It's Sunday, February 3rd, 2019. How your year going so far? You holding on, you being strong, you staying strong, you holding down, you holding in, you pushing through, you seeing it through, you following through, you being your best, you testing your best, you tried to, you persevere, you're resilient, you made it, you still coming, you still moving forward, you still progressing, you still getting it, you still going, you going on, you just doing it, then you doing it well, you doing it better, you doing it your best, you doing it greater, you're succeeding, you're successful, you are success, you are going to be success filled, and you are full of success. Wondered, no more to wonder, because you are wonderful, you are beautiful, you are strong, you are a man, and the first thing you can call yourself, I am black, I am power, I am resolve, resolution, I am success, and I'm going to be fulfilled, and I am truth. And first of all, and last of all, and it's the first, the second, the middle, the third. If you keep it, you can't let it go. You are loved. You are loved. You are the man. You are a man, and you are a black man. Can we get a shalom? Say la, say la. Let's go. Build that power in you, because no person in this world will build that in you. No person in this world will say that to you. And if you meet somebody, remember that. I remember the day I was called a man. This was about, that's why I don't knock anything. I don't knock nothing. I have an understanding of things, because a man asked me, what if somebody prayed and worshiped for a chair and said the chair is God? I said, power to that man. If he said that, make that man be good. Power to that man. But that don't mean that I have to, we got to understand that don't have to be the belief, or that's what I know and trust in. I know that chair can't move. I know. So what he's idolizing the chair. I'm not idolizing the chair. I'm not idolizing nothing. But I know it's power to the truth. A woman, the first lady, we call her the first lady at the church. It's called Prayer Tower. There's power in Prayer Tower. There's the power in the tower. Now I'm gonna get to that in a minute. She called me a man. I was walking down the stairs. We was leaving out. Service was over. I don't just know church. And church was the place of healing. The church I was going to was the place of healing. I don't even want to go. I made a visit other churches, and it has nothing to do with, to me, I never looked at church for the religion. Everything I do, I come in with an open mind, and eventually, once that time go down, not that I'm struggling or it's hard, I start studying. So anything that was associated, I studied it, and I started learning different things. So now at 36, that was so many. How many years is that? And I should have wrote that down, but at the time, being the man I was, I put it, I hold it there. That's why I talk about it today when she called me a man. And you are a great man. And she called me a man. She didn't use any words. It didn't need words, because if you listen to this woman, she's 87 now, 88 now, and her husband, he's passed away. Power to the soul of her husband. And he always gave me some wise word, or I just listened to his stories. That's why, to me, I'm black power, because I'm around people that has account of all this wrong done to them by other races. And and we don't see it. We always say, why does the first person? Because we hold each other. If I don't hold you to a standard, that means you can say and do anything around me, and I won't find no fault. And then we'll wonder why our children, or my niece, or my nieces, or my nephew think it's okay for them to be disrespected. We know why. Just because another race does something to us and we are not there, I don't get angry, because as soon as I think about the people that should be the parent over them, or the guardian, because sometimes the parent are not able to be there in some cases. I don't see nothing wrong with a lot of things that happen, but it's the actions of the people that, or that their mouths. And if and I learned this, and this is a lesson, and this is not even a lesson. This is more of a life understanding. You can't use your mouth to say things, and the things you say basically comes full circle. That means you're gonna contradict everything you saying. You already tricking us because in your mind it's a trick because we don't know who you are until you put yourself in that situation. Or if you never geared yourself up, like what I do, I put myself in situations on purpose because I learned from the military, you don't know how you're going to respond. I can train to put on my gas mask all day, but until I get in a situation when they say gas, 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 when I went to Iraq, I had a whole different understanding. I was the first to put mine on. I was the calmest. And thank you for the hood. I'm gonna thank the hood and the ghetto and the project. I do it for the projects. I'm gonna thank the project for that. Actually helped me more than the instruction because I actually went through events I was so calm out there. After like the 15, 17 day, I stopped counting how long I was out in Iraq because my mind went and say, I know I'm gonna be out here now. I know I'm out here and I know who I am. So once I know, and I was 17, I thought I was dumb for joining the military. Then I found out that was actually one of the best things I ever can do. But I don't not recommend a young man. But what I do, as the recruiter would do, I tell you everything to expect from boot camp into your whole career. They won't tell you because they have to follow under the same contract I'm following. But I'm a service person, or I'm a veteran, so I can tell you everything you want to know. That's why I don't discredit the service because I am thankful for the ability from the Creator, the Almighty, to go into the military. I was a United States Marine Corps. I left out as a sergeant, and I'll get with that in a second. She called me a man. When this woman called me a man, and then so many hours later, her daughter, she didn't tell her, and that was the spirit. And I didn't see them call nobody else a man that day in the church. So that's why I say I don't knock the church. I was called the man for the first time. I am 36. I want to say I was 31 or 30 at that time. So 5 or 6 years ago, I was first time, but it didn't sink into who I was yet. Because guess what? I was still in a small sense. I was at, you know how you play the video game and you keep fighting and you fighting. You don't have to hit the person, but it's this energy inside of you. It keep building up. It keep building up. But if you use it at the right time and when you fighting, because it's the video game, it's a fighting game, you use that ability and that ability maximizes. And at that time, I was being built up. If I can be I can be the maximum man I can. And being the maximum man you can. And so when I was getting out this, before I went into the service, well, when I got into the service, I was checking in my duty station. This is to show me the man part. The man asked me, the sergeant major, the master sergeant had asked me, what rank, because they interview you when you get to your unit, what rank do you desire to be? Because they know you in 4 years. Now, so I still had as 3 years and 6 months left, or like 5, because I was in my A school for an extra month because the class picked up. So what happened is he asked me, what rank you want to achieve? I told him sergeant. He just looked at me for like a good amount of seconds. He said, I didn't know nothing. I'm the young, dumb 18-year-old dude, just got out of my A school, learned my job, and I didn't get into my physical part of the job. I was just learning it from the books and doing some aspects. And I just got a boot camp as well, came off recruiter assistance, and he was looking at me like, sorry, I didn't know. I'm thinking sergeant is the rank you're supposed to make within the 4-year period. So I did my MOS, I got into my career, and one thing I always show, I never gave up. Even in boot camp, even my recruiter, he gave me a hug. Not my recruiter, my drill instructor, because either in boot camp, you a young man. I was 18. It's either was going to make you or was going to break you. And it's not that they're doing it on purpose. They mess with everybody, but they knew how to mess with everybody. I was the tallest. I was taller than all of my drilling. No, actually, I wasn't. I was the out of all of us put together. I probably was the fifth or sixth tallest because it was guys taller than me. Because I finally hit 6 feet mark, and not everybody in the military, as you see, even in football, are not 6 feet. Them cornerbacks are like 5'11". Well, that's 6 feet. 5'10". I mean, that's funny. 5'8", 5'9", but they're solid, strong because they did it their whole life. They work out. They understand how to play. My brother, he's only 5'8". I didn't even have to have the true skills but I was just by my height and stature and understanding sports. I can jump out there at receiver and have some yards, but to dominate, now I would have to learn the position. So as a man, you got to learn the position. That's why I say you got to focus, purpose, mission, and then that one thing, you got to stay and be in position. And a lot of people don't understand, if you're not in position, you can't. I can receive anything out of position, but think about it. When a woman told me I was a man, the first person told me wasn't a man, it was a woman. And other men, a little bit older than me, told me that. By then, I knew. So that was almost as now why is so punitive to have fathers in the home. For the daughter, to me, I think is greater important for the daughter, because all that young man want to hear is good job, pat on the back, and thank you. It's not a lot that you need. I'm not even gonna get into the women, but for a man, I know for me, I didn't need a lot. All I needed was a little bit of support. Show up. If I had 16 games, I was happy if you showed up to 4. But that never happened. So gotta listen, man. That was very imperative. So now, if I play sports or if I participated in any event, if it was 10, I was happy for 3 or 2, because that showed me, okay, that wow, you came, you showed me you was my backbone, because a growing man need like an extra backbone. He need a little bit of, what's the word of, like somebody pushing you forward. He need a little bit of that little. I had the word in my head. I can't recall it. Like, it's not coming to my head. What's the word I need to use? Because I love words. I love because a man is going to define and help validate you. That's not the word I'm looking for. But when he's there and he say, you are a man, you are strong, or you can do it, your whole mentality change. But when you got to come from an area, I'll respect this from any man, because I had to go through it. That had to dig down deep by yourself. There's no such thing as arrogant and cocky. I try to explain this to women, and we know it's no such thing. Because when Usain Bolt said, I know I'm going to win this race, who was going to stop Usain Bolt? In his mind, this is just in his mind. We're not even talking about, we know physically he was going to win. Who was going to stop him? And arrogant and cocky didn't come for every man. It only come from the man that know he can do it. If you stand me in front of a room of 10 guys of different ethnicities, I can be not as strong. You know you can do it. You know you can do it. And you got to think, wow, I'm in a room. I made it this far. Think about that. Now you made it this far. This far. I'm not talking about any farther than this. Right now, you in the present moment, this far. Remember, your past you cannot change. Your present and now is a gift. Your future you cannot predict, but you can prepare for. So imagine all those things you was doing to prepare to get to the spot you was in, the gift. You are in the now. But did you prepare? What did you do? What did you lead yourself up to be the best you? But that is not even given to young men anymore. Because the father, if I can say anything to men that's father, I don't care if you haven't talked or made an effort to see your son in 19 years, 20 years, go see him. Don't worry about the battle he gonna give you. He gonna give you hell because you wasn't there. If you're not there, don't expect to be welcomed with lollipops and cookies and cakes like it's a birthday celebration. No, Be ready to get the hammer. Like hammer time, you know the hammer time. Then if you've been that dude that been misguided yourself, why would you want your son to be led astray from his greatness? All we seeing these young African descendant quote unquote black men being led astray from their greatness. They're not told they're great. They're not even, we can't even get to the great yet because they don't even know they're a man yet. So once they figure out and once they know that they are a man, you can't tell them. So no, he was only reason he's cocky and arrogant by the basis on his skin, not on his character. Because if you look at him and you pay attention to him, you don't know nothing about his life. And then I just learned this. This is a side note. And I don't know if this story is true. It's a lady that's always dogging African descendant, quote unquote, black men. And somebody told me her story because I was trying to get why she's so hard on African. And it's not the normal hard. It's the whatever you do is not enough type of hard every day. That even if you could make her breakfast, that wasn't a thank you. That wasn't enough. I learned her story. Y'all probably can guess who she is. One day she was in her city. Her niece got ran over by a truck in the city, a city truck. And she tried to rally and she needed the men to not even so much to sue the city. I'm quite sure she sued the city, but the way she needed the men, they never rallied together to help her. And so what caused her anger inside is that nobody came to help her. She's not going to blame the women because she always looked at men because she had a positive role model of a man in her life that may have died or passed away. That part I'm guesstimating. And so and then what hurt her the most, the people said, well, how come you allowed your niece to play that close to the road or be in that situation? And so being all that and that happened, and that was 8 years ago. That's when she became hard up on black men. I don't know her story, but if she had a man there, now this is when your greatness come in, regardless of where you rally, if she had one man there that stood by her, because I understand now, this is what sucks about being a man now. We are feeling all of the hate and the pain from these women that I had nothing to do. I keep meeting single mothers and they got such of these hard-on analogies about us, these hard-on feelings, emotions, this hurt and these pains, problems caused by not one of you. And we are not going to understand because we're not women. And they're not going to help us understand because they don't know how to understand. And it's not a diss to them because you can ask them. And I've done so much talking to women that single and then women that don't have children or that have lost their children or other African black, quote unquote, black women, African descendant women in America. They've been through so much as we are. They don't see that. So with that's why I keep talking about the patriarch, matriarch, the spirituality of things. The spirituality of us have been destroyed. They telling us voodoo is wrong. If you study voodoo, baptism, that's the same exact thing. They changed it up and gave it to them in their way, but they're using their way. So the men are using the women to destroy the women, and then the women destroy the men. And I have to say this, men are great. If you can get a woman to know she's greater, when we are greatness, we are made of it. Because with that woman, we complete it and we become great. We can be great, greater, or our greatest. Right now, you only can be great. You need to complete. You can become greater because you dug down deep. But without that woman, I don't care what nobody's saying. You're not going to tell me this is not a diss to no man. Because without that man, without that woman, vice versa, a man and a woman, woman, man, we will not never be our greatest until we come together. Until we understand that, we don't know. That's why it's so important when that man is there and tell you how you a man. And when that woman tell you a man. I never heard that. I'm not going to tell you my bad side real quick. I'm not hired up on women. I wouldn't care if I had a child because I'm watching the earth. But what I don't allow myself to do is allow people that's hurt to draw their transfer their hurt to me. We keep saying that's why we keep talking about it. If we didn't talk about it, like if I know I was in love with someone, I don't have to go to the sites anymore that's talking about how to love, or I'm going to the sites, or I'm going around keeping myself immersed, indulged, fulfilling myself with good positive energy to say, I love her. I don't want to break up from her. I don't want to go away from her. What can I do? What's her sign? I don't care what belief you have. You're gonna study these signs, these astrology. Okay, what's her what's her code? You know how you take a test, it tell you it's an introvert. I'm gonna go study that. That's what my friend have done. And we talked about that and he done it. He went farther. I didn't think about the astrology. I said, you ever thought about studying her? I was like, I was always so simple, but I was straight into the point. It was direct. And it's to people that's overthinking. No, this is what you trying to say. I'm gonna study. Like, so I know how to approach women. I studied it. I read the books. I took the time out to go approach different types of women. That's why I say to me, and no woman can phantom this. A lot of men, and some men can't, but a lot can. There is no difference to me between a lady that worked for a 5-star company that wear a suit or a dress suit, a dress skirts and ties, the bow ties on her skirts, between a woman that's an escort. That's the lowest of the low because she's doing things unbecoming of her body to get money. And this woman is doing things that is classified as a business and corporate. So from business to street, I'm gonna put it that way. I don't have to say it that way. There is no difference to me and woman. You know what the difference is? It's the woman. Let's say that again. There's no difference between a woman that's in the street and a business attire. I'm not talking about like just street. I'm not, see, for a woman, street gonna mean something totally different. Because most guys is drug dealers or they trying to become kingpins or the block holders and things of that nature. But for a man, us being street mean totally different. It's a street woman and there's a business class woman, like the class of them. I don't see a difference because I'll put this on my Instagram. My Instagram is oldness 1_716. I'll put that. I'm new. You can see I've been on there but so long that I learned not all women are ladies and not all ladies are women. So a lot of women got offense to that. And it's like, so what I'm doing, I was like, no, read it again. So, and if you read my thing, I told them a woman can be in a business suit. She can be having sex with all her clients. A woman can be a stripper, but that don't mean she having sex with her clients. Think about that. Like, so a woman can be a stripper and not cheat on her man. Then you got the woman that's wearing the business. I'm just using that as a thing because we swear up and down. We swear up and down that she's a business class, so she's a more upstanding and outstanding citizen when she's out there treating men wrong. So we got to think about the things that we do. So if you're treating a woman wrong, you're not taking care of your child. How great are you really? What I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path, it's your journey, it's your choice. Choose wisely. You know you got to be in position for anything to work. If we can get men to understand how great we are, and this is a thing for me. When I do things, I don't think about women. I think about the children because to me, the woman have the children. I'm not dissing her because when you approach, every child need love the same exact way. Every woman they need love semi the same exact way. So if you can love your child, that woman got to follow suit naturally by the design, the dynamics. I can't change it. We all will agree on it, but it's not so much what the woman do is what you do for the children, for the next generation. I don't worry about it because if I was married, I would have to do specific things for that lady I'm married to. But for that child, a child is a child. I know I gotta feed, clothes, spend time with that child. I gotta love on that. There's no, each child will have no separation on how you treat them. You have to treat every child the same exact way. You can treat women differently. I'm not talking about bad differently. I'm saying she might need more of this in this area than this. Like some women, you might, she already know what you're talking about, but she not, you might have to go deeper with her. Some women might love poetry more than music. So you might want to, you might want to make sure you comparable in poetry. And even rap. What rap songs so you can do the poetry? And she may not think. And now she say, oh, so no, all rap is not bad. All hip hop do not step forth the standard for a man. All hip hop did not, it's a culture. There we go. Once you change the culture that's around you, you would change everything because that's the atmosphere, that's the spirit of the culture. So start thinking about you are great, you are a great man, you are the best man you can be better than your best. And I don't mean if there's you sports. Okay, I don't mean that you threw 40 touchdowns this year and you like, yo, I could throw 50. Cool, you can throw 50, but what are you doing in the off season when you're preparing for this? Last year, let's say you ain't do a lot. This year, you like, dang, I want to stay on my best because I know last year I got hit more. I can't expect myself to not get hit as much or less because I got a better offensive line from a quarterback or from a running back. How can I help my team? I know I need to work on catching the ball out the backfield or when we do the screen. So let me work on grabbing the ball without gloves on. So when I put on gloves, I'm immaculate and then practice with gloves because it's a different feeling. See, you practice without it, then you practice with it. So if we start getting that mentality, start bringing the mentality of I might have to do it right here. I might have to put this on. I might have to take it off, practice with it, do it off, take it on, put it on. If you start learning your purpose now, see, your mission is to make sure I'm a 3rd and 5 running back, a 3 and 5. I'm on third down. I know they know I'm getting the ball and we gonna run it down their throats. I don't care. We gonna run it in some type of running formation. So whatever way you're going to do it, you got to keep doing it. Even if they know we coming, but that can't stop you, young man, older man. They know we coming for the spot. They say how you come in for that number, but you are number 1 already. You're not proving it. You're not showing them. You only thing you really got to prove and show to, and the only person on this earth is yourself. Say lie.